After the ultrasonic bronchoscope is inserted into the trachea, the accessible lymph node stations shall be explored and lesions shall be outlined. Unpack the dedicated adapter biopsy valve and fix it onto the biopsy port. Unpack the syringe, close the stopcock, pull 20 milliliters and lock the plunger by rotating it 90 degrees. Place it aside for later use. Carefully prevent kinking of the sheath, unpack an Olympus EBUS TBNA needle and remove the protective tube and plates. Check that the sharp needle tip cannot be accidentally exposed. Bring the endoscope's angulation lever to the neutral position, as angulation during insertion of the needle would stress the endoscope and is likely to provoke damage. Insert the needle catheter with slow, short pushes through the insertion port of the adapter biopsy valve into the instrument channel of the endoscope. Check that the connector sits firmly on the adapter biopsy valve. Then push the connecting slider over the sleeve of the adapter biopsy valve to securely connect the needle system with the endoscope. If in doubt, check the indicators on the connecting slider. Care has to be taken that the needle sheath is inserted far enough distally so that it extends beyond the end of the instrument channel in order to protect the instrument channel from damage during the procedure. The adjustment is done by moving the connector section while the sheath position is controlled endoscopically. If the sheath should remain too much advanced, it will obstruct a good ultrasound coupling. The needle's sheath should be withdrawn until only its distal part can be seen in the endoscopic image. Once the correct sheath length is found, the sheath adjuster knob has to be firmly tightened by turning it clockwise. For better orientation in the bronchus, the angulation lever at the endoscope can be pushed in direction D, bending the tip of the endoscope downward and thus allowing viewing in a forward direction. To visualize the lesion in the ultrasound image, the transducer has to be placed in firm contact with the bronchial wall. The angulation lever of the endoscope is pushed in the direction of the mark U, moving the distal tip of the endoscope upwards and bringing the transducer into contact with the bronchial wall. Hard cartilage rings sometimes hinder a close contact of transducer and mucosa. To overcome this problem, the optional balloon can be filled with deaerated water. The smooth surface of the balloon also reduces cough stimulus during the procedure. Doppler examination of the target lesion, as well as the anticipated path of the needle, should be performed in order to avoid the puncture of vessels and to reduce the risk of a bloody specimen with limited quality for the cytopathologist. By light rotation of the hand holding the endoscope, the maximum diameter of the lesion can be outlined. The following aspects should be documented: location of the transducer, orientation of the transducer, location of a lesion. Also, the characteristics of the lesion shall be described, like size, shape, demarcation, echogenicity, number of lesions, as well as their relation to other organs and vessel structures. Before activating the needle, confirm that the needle sheath can be seen in the endoscopic image. If in doubt, readjust the needle sheath. The next steps concentrate on needle activation. Check the distance to the targeted lesion and decide on required needle length. Remove the grey stopper, should the needle length larger than 2 cm be required. Push the needle adjuster lever. Fix the needle adjuster by locking the lever at a chosen position on the scale, or let the needle adjuster slide down the scale. The round stylet knob is withdrawn a few millimeters in order to expose the sharp needle tip. Attention! If not slightly withdrawn, the needle tip will be filled with the blunt stylet and will not allow easy penetration through the bronchial wall. Place the palm of your free hand on the connector section of the needle. Place thumb and index finger on the lower part of the needle slider. This hand position will allow full control of the needle movement. By angulating index finger and thumb, it's possible to advance the needle slowly and under full control into the targeted lesion. Attention! Keep in mind that depending on the insertion depth of the needle, the needle tip may extend out of the area displayed in the ultrasound image. Always ensure that you can see the needle tip. Afterwards, the stylet is removed completely. The prepared syringe is mounted by an assistant to the Luer lock adapter of the needle. By turning the stopcock 90 degrees, a vacuum is applied. The endoscopist advances the needle further into the lesion. About 10 to 15 needle passes back and forth movements are performed under constant ultrasonic control. While the needle is inside the lesion, pressure variation of the thumb on the angulation lever of the bronchoscope will allow the needle to be steered towards different areas of the lymph node. Before retracting the needle from the lesion, the vacuum has to be equilibrated by removing stopcock and syringe from the needle. Before withdrawing the needle from the endoscope, these steps must be followed to avoid damage to the endoscope. Straighten the endoscope. Fully retract the needle slider until a click is heard. Confirm you can see the control line on the needle scale. The adjuster lever has to be used to fix the needle slider. Then the needle is disconnected and removed from the endoscope. The aspirated material is expelled using stylet and syringe. The material is smeared on glass slides for a cytopathological evaluation. In procedures combining the EBUS TBNA with a rigid tube or a larynx mask, the needle is retracted, but it's not necessary to disconnect it from the scope, as the endoscope can be removed completely. Then the needle is brought forward, and the material is expelled as described before. Refer to the chapter Cytology to find detailed information on specimen handling.